Jury deliberations underway right now in the case of 9 people charged in connection with an attack on a North Texas ICE detention center. Plus, we're taking a live look at Dallas's Clyde Warren Park as we needed to get those jackets out this morning. A chilly start to the day, but now we're warming up. Welcome to Midday. I'm Morgan Young. First, though, we have a traffic alert to tell you about. It's on the Highway 80 service road near Townsend Road in Kaufman County. Here's a live look from our TxDOT camera. Forney police say this is a multi-vehicle crash involving an 18-wheeler that caught fire. Eastbound 80 is currently shut down. You can see there drivers should expect delays in that area. Now let's turn our attention back to our weather. I want to welcome in meteorologist Mariel Ruiz. And Mariel, we talked about it being cold this morning, warming up now, but you've got some important information for us about another cool down.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Remember I said it's going to be kind of a shock to the system, even though I'm telling you, you're still going to be surprised by how cold. Yeah. Well, the temperature drops even more come Monday morning. Look at that smile.
Yay.
And because it's going to be so drastically different from Sunday, we went ahead and issued a WFAA weather alert for Sunday and Monday. Specifically Sunday night and Monday. The impact is a strong cold front that arrives on Sunday. It brings along with it gusty winds up to about 35 miles per hour. And this is going to bring in cold air. A light freeze north of DFW is likely, with Monday morning wind chills in the 20s when you factor in that wind. So Monday, DFW stays above freezing, but the wind chill will be in the 20s, so it'll feel a bit colder than the actual temperature. Make sure to stay updated on the numbers with us throughout the weekend. You want to make sure to bundle up, grab the jacket. Don't put it away. I know you used it this morning. Don't completely put it away because you'll need it again next week. Be sure to watch us on WFAA Plus for the latest numbers as well. So we are expecting those temperatures really to be in the mid 60s today. We warm up after today. We make it to 77 on Friday, low 80s over the weekend. That front comes in, drops our high temperature. This is the high on Monday, 53, but the morning low on Monday, 38. So between Sunday afternoon to Monday morning, a more than 40-degree temperature drop. This morning, of course, starting off a bit on the cool side, 51. A lot of locations dipped into the low 40s, which is actually close to what's considered normal for this time of the year. No significant wind chill at the moment. Today, a lot of sunshine, light winds. We'll break down the numbers for today and for this weekend coming up in just a bit, Morgan.
All right, Mariel, thank you so much. Now to a developing story this midday. The case of an attack on an Immigrations and Customs Enforcement facility in Alvarado is now in the hands of a jury. Natalie Haddad has been following this trial and joins me live with the very latest. Natalie.
Hey, good midday to you, Morgan. Jury deliberations started earlier this morning. The prosecution is calling this attack a planned ambush carried out by members of Antifa, a government-labeled terrorist organization. There are 9 defendants that are accused of attacking the Prairieland ICE detention center in Alvarado on the 4th of July. It happened last year. Prosecutors say Benjamin Song was the ringleader of all of it, and he is accused of shooting a police officer. According to investigators, the group set off fireworks, vandalized vehicles and buildings outside the detention center before eventually opening fire on officers. Song is accused of shooting one Alvarado police officer in the neck. That officer did survive. Defense attorneys argued that this wasn't an ambush. He called it a planned protest meant to show support for the detainees inside the facility, and prosecutors say it is phone data that proves that the suspects show coordination to ambush security and police officers at the Alvarado ICE facility. Now, some of these suspects do face life in prison. We have a crew there right now. You can follow us on social media for all of the updates on this case. Morgan?
All right, Natalie, thank you so much. Dallas police are investigating after they say SWAT officers shot and killed a man overnight in the Children's Health parking garage. Police say fugitive officers were running surveillance on a wanted suspect when he barricaded himself inside of a vehicle. SWAT used tear gas to get him out, and police say the man then pointed a gun at officers who opened fire. No officers were hurt. Well, the new supreme leader in Iran speaking out for the first time since the war began, and he took his father's place after he was assassinated. This comes as Iran escalated its attacks on oil ships in the region, sending oil prices surging. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the latest.
This morning, for the first time since the war began, Iranian state media reporting there is a public statement from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. The statement read on Iranian state TV. There, Khamenei vowing to avenge the deaths of Iranians killed and pledging to keep up attacks on U.S. military bases and oil facilities in the Gulf region. And this morning, Iran making good on that threat. This dramatic new video shows 2 oil tankers on fire, local officials blaming Iran. Flames engulfing one of the tankers, a rescue crew trying to reach it.
Come, my friend, come this side.
Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard claiming to have struck the Safessia Vishnu, seen here in videos circulating online. And Iran escalating attacks on oil infrastructure on land as well. Videos show multiple oil silos on fire around the Persian Gulf. And Reuters reporting Iran has deployed roughly a dozen mines in the Strait of Hormuz, choking off the critical waterway and with it 20% of the world's oil supply, warning oil could reach a stunning $200 per barrel. Prices rising overnight, oil hovering around $100 per barrel. At the gas pump, the national average this morning, $3.61 a gallon, up 66 cents since the war began. President Trump in conflicting messages, telling the American people the war is won, but that also, it's not over.
And we've won. Let me tell you, we've won. As we end this threat to America and this threat to the world, we don't want to leave early, do we? We got to finish the job, right?
But remember, this new Ayatollah has not been seen or heard from directly. An Israeli assessment indicates he was wounded in the beginning of the war. His father, of course, was killed. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Well, taking a live look at how Wall Street is responding to the Supreme Leader's comments and spike in oil prices, you can see the Dow is down, about 500 points right now, hovering above that 500-point mark. And here in North Texas, today marks the next phase in the $700 million makeover of Fort Worth's Convention Center. Leaders are meeting to discuss construction impacts and Phase 2 timelines. This phase will rebuild the existing building, which has not seen major renovations since 2003. The first phase included a new entrance, food options, and space for a future hotel. City officials expect these upgrades to draw new convention business to Fort Worth. And we now know at least one location officials are considering to replace Dallas City Hall. According to our partners at the Dallas Business Journal, officials have toured Bryan Tower, a 40-story skyscraper about a mile from the current location. The current building's future is still unclear. After last week's contentious meeting, the City Council directed a financial committee to explore other options. Well, turning to your health news this midday, should women take prescribed hormones during or after menopause? It's an issue that's been studied through years with different recommendations at different times. So to help clarify this issue a bit better for us, we are joined by our medical expert, Dr. David Winter from Baylor Scott & White. Dr. Winter, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Morgan, good to be with you.
Can we start with what exactly do menopausal hormones do for women?
Well, they can get rid of the hot flashes, the night sweats, the mood swings. Some women get extreme fatigue, insomnia, bladder problems. Some women get thin hair, gain weight. Women have different symptoms when they go through the menopause, but the hormones can take care of most all of those, Morgan.
And are those hormones safe? We always hear about different side effects that can come. Can they come with some significant side effects?
Well, this goes back to 2002. Major study came out and said that women that took hormones had increased risk of heart attack, strokes, breast cancer, and dying early. Well, that study has since been refuted, and we found that if women are age 60 or less and they take hormones, they can actually live longer. Thank goodness for that. We've also found that if you take lower dose hormones, which are absorbed through the skin, patches, creams, lotions, those are also a little bit safer if there's a concern about that.
Can you talk about the impact for older women versus the benefits for younger women?
Yeah, and that varies quite a bit, Morgan. Some women can get off the hormones without a problem, even if they've been on them for decades. Some women have to get back on them. We also found, though, if you want to get off, tapering usually is easier as a trial, but some women still need those in their 70s.
And so I guess, what we want to leave people with is this final question. How do you decide which women should take these hormones and who just should not?
Yeah, great question, and no generalized answer for that. This is a question I think needs to be discussed with you one-on-one with your physician. Talk about your family history, your concerns, your issues you may have with them, side effects. One-on-one discussion with your physician. That way you can get the best decision that works for you. Morgan.
Such good advice, Dr. Winter with Baylor Scott & White. Thank you for helping us be smarter about our health. We know that this is so top of mind for so many people, so this is wonderful. Thank you so much.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Well, Google Maps gets an AI makeover, how it will change the way we find our way around. That is in our next half hour. And keeping kids active, happy, and on track while school is out for spring break, we are talking to an expert next on Midday.